What is good, Cardano fam, ADA gang? We have lots of exciting updates to unpack today, so hit that subscribe, hit that like. The trend that keeps on trending, Cardano. Business and finance trending Cardano with 13.1k posts. Not surprised. Cardano ADA plus 10% 7-day. Now, of course, this is small, and we know that massive pumps are around the corner. We'll take a look at some trends towards the end of the video. Just in, Grayscale announces the launch of the first trust fund for XRP. Now, why is this important for Cardano? XRP is not ADA. Well, hear me out. Because recently, of course, we joined the DReC Alliance. IOG joined as final founding members alongside Algorand Foundation, Hedera, Hashgraph, Ripple, and XRPL Labs. So while people will FUD XRP and say it's old narrative, while people will FUD ADA and say it's old narrative, of course, we joined alongside Ripple and XRPL Labs in the context of XRP to advance decentralized recovery, simplify UX for mass adoption. A few months ago, Brad Garlinghouse was saying there will be a Cardano ETF. And lo and behold, it seems like everything is coming together. So while people are making this really seem like it's FUD and player versus player, we can win together. And I'm very happy about what Ripple has been doing for the entire industry. And good news for XRP is good news for ADA. And the fact that the Ripple CEO is anticipating a Cardano ETF is great news to me. The fact that XRP is not a security and they paid 94% reduction in penalty, combined with the CFTC saying that most of the altcoins are not a security. Guys, Cardano is set up to be the ultimate blue chip for compliance and decentralization and regulation. And that is the narrative that Ripple has been leading with. So there's a lot of common interest. So it's good to keep an eye on what Ripple's doing, the CEO and the CLO, Stuart Alderoty. So we'll keep an eye with them as well because it benefits Cardano ADA. Cardano's leading stablecoin now increases to 8 million USDM. Strike Foundation gets stronger with each inflow. Really good. So liquidity continues to stack up. And Wanchain continues to add new routes. They just added a new route, I believe via Optimism. Yes, new Bitcoin bridge route. Cardano Optimism, one of the most OG bridges. And it's great to see more methods and more routes to bridge, if you will. The OG octopus of bridges. Very nice. We can see here Optimism, BTC. Speaking of bridges, did you know that Cardano's bridge supports 10 plus Cardano Native Tokens for Wanchain? Cardano Native assets have many benefits: native protocol support, no smart contract risk like ERC20 tokens, and censorship resistant. Nobody can freeze your transactions, which is great. Orcfax, this is interesting and it kind of reminds me of what we saw with Chainlink, adding the data streams to ADA. From now on, Cardano DeFi will have access to validated API-free CNT feeds in a cost-efficient manner. This includes centralized exchange feeds in a complete audit trail via our Explorer. It's great to see more data being accessible for the Cardano community, so I'm very excited about this low-key gem with Orcfax. Why not? More data is always going to be more powerful for us. All Rocket transactions will be processed through Sundae Swap DEX V3. Rocket by JPG Store. People are highly anticipating this. Crypto Crow is very excited for this. Their goal, fast, premium, and secure. And I think, guys, that this platform will be the launch pad for blue chips. Lightning fast transaction execution, the highest possible rate of success, secure and seamless processing. This is good stuff. People are really excited for the user interface. Here we see some sneak peeks to the user interface, which I think it looks fantastic. Very nice looking, dark theme. And what I like also is that Rocket, as we'll see in just a moment, is great because of the risk-free token raises. Only on Rocket, if a token isn't launched after the initial raise period is over, your purchase is automatically refunded. Bet on the winners and get refunded on the losers. That's nice, because then you don't have to constantly watch the chart, get dumped on, and worry about that bonding curve and, oh no, I got trolled. I played around with Pump Fun on Solana and I lost everything. It was just chump change, but this is nice because it puts it in a completely different product market fit, in my opinion. So it's going to be exciting to see. Cool Weekly Stats 2 by Splash DEX. First time in the Cardano history, Splash is number 1 by volume. And it's going to be interesting to see. And I think a lot of this is because of Snack Fun. But it's going to be interesting to see if Sundae Swap is going to reclaim that gold medal, if you will, fueled by Rocket. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think that it's great to see competition in DeFi because that competition fosters innovation and consumers will vote with their support. So good stuff all around. Free Cardano tools, TapTools, top traders, top holders, top lenders and borrowers, monthly, weekly returns. This is free for every token on Cardano. Gotta love some free goodies. Ouroboros Leos, we did a deep dive yesterday with Cardano Yoda with a long post. We'll have 3 types of blocks: input blocks, IB, endorsement blocks, and ranking blocks. Transactions will be in the input blocks. The table below shows theoretically achievable transactions per second based on the minting frequency and the size of the input blocks. Cardano can handle hundreds of transactions per second. Why not? I mean, to compartmentalize it with what's planned around the future, with parallel stuff, with accelerating throughput. Guys, I'm not a developer, but I'm very excited to see the next chapter in Cardano in terms of scalability and accelerating that, because we have some strong foundations and all these projects more or less did not exist in the time of the previous bull run. You know, in the previous bull run at the tail end of August, we had Sundae Swap around the corner, smart contracts, and now we have a bustling ecosystem. So I'm confident that Cardano 8.0 is going to rip through the previous all-time high. Exciting news. Speaking of governance, governance just got easier on Yoroi Desktop Wallet. Jump in and vote for your favorite DReps today using their new governance tools. So very good stuff. Like to see that. A lot of new wallets are catching up. Speaking of governance, Crypto Crow, he's a good crow, says, very happy to see my DRep total closing in on 4 million delegated. Very cool. Thank you, folks. And I gotta say, I really like Crypto Crow's attitude. I really like what he stands for, standing up to the FUD, but also, you know, aligning with the views of Angry Crypto. So I think that, be it Cardano Yoda, Crypto Crow, Stake with Pride, there's many great DReps. Let me know who is your favorite DRep. And I think Crypto Crow is fantastic. But if you do want to do it yourself also, you can be a DRep too. There's nothing wrong with that. Cardano has over 400 DReps registered. You can become one. To register as a DRep, have at least 500 ADA for the refundable deposit. Install Eternal Wallet. Number 1, go to the voting tab. Number 2, then the blockchain governance section. Number 3, select your own account and delegate. In case you don't have Eternal, you can always take the seed phrase, import it in. At the end of the day, these are just windows to the blockchain, if you will. And Cardano Yoda has a great post about that also. If you have any concerns and whatnot, he has a fantastic read. Input Output is coming to a city near you. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing the Tokyo action, the Asia tour. Throughout September and October, we're holding, sponsoring, and joining events all over the world. After the IO Asia tour, they'll be headed to Italy, Singapore, Austria, then on to the UK, USA, and finishing in the UAE. So a little bit of a around the world action. You know what I'm saying? Come and meet Charles Hoskinson and the teams from Midnight Network, Lace Wallet, Catalyst, to name a few. Very nice. So if you guys are interested in meeting the team and Charles, this is a fantastic opportunity. Like always, everything is linked for you in the video description. Massive props to Bitwise, says Dan, for having Cardano in their crypto index fund. Hopefully they saw it just set the standard for decentralization as the largest, most secure, community-driven crypto. I like to think Bitwise has a value investor mindset and is eyeing an ADA ETF. That's why when people make fun of Ripple, while we're teaming up with them as founding entities, while the CEO is fighting the SEC and arguably winning, while he's calling for a Cardano ETF, you see, there's a lot of common interest that we have here. And this, of course, reminds me of the tweet that we put out a few weeks ago. This, to my knowledge, is nothing new, but it's just a special thanks by Dan that there are already some crazy ETFs or ETPs, if you will, right? 21 shares, Wisdom Tree, Liquid, CoinShares, Bitwise, Grayscale, and more. And many of them including staking. So they really take it to the next level, not only 100% backed, some of them as baskets. And in this case, the Bitwise one that Dan is referring to, I believe, is the Bitwise Crypto Index. And I think that more will be joining these, as Brad Garlinghouse is alluding to. And it's like, what do they know that, you know, that the trolls don't? And guys, my commitment to you guys moving forward is that I really want to do my best. I made some posts I won't bore you with on Twitter that I don't want to focus so much on the FUD. I don't want to focus so much on the nonsense. I really want to focus on just the signal, and we're going to do our best for that. It's like they only have a few selection. Look here. What do we have here? 3, 4, 5, 6, like 9, 10. 10. Of 10, Cardano's one of those 10. You got like 20,000 crypto. Why is it that it's like of those, Cardano's in there? And yes, most of it's Bitcoin, but you have double the amount of Chainlink, double the amount of Polkadot, double the amount of Bitcoin Cash, and almost triple the amount of Uniswap. And Uniswap is a very important platform. So at the end of the day, trolls will troll and they can't understand liquid staking or be bothered to Google it for 5 seconds. It's okay. We don't need to pick a fight with everyone. We'll continue to prove with merit and evidence and just continue to do our thing. U.Today is one of those like rare websites that actually writes some pretty good articles. So shout out to them. I look forward to when they add a dark mode. But they're talking about the surge. The surge in 83% in volume is a price rally coming. So let's a quick read here. ADA is seeing significant bullish momentum today. While there is a notable price increase, there's also a major increase in its trading activity. According to CoinGlass, the trading volume of ADA has exploded to 83% in the last 24 hours. Currently at the almost $400 million level, volume is rising across all major trading platforms. A majority of that coming from Binance. Data reveals 180.16 million from Binance, 77.6 million from Bybit, 57.8 million from OKX, 25.15 from BingX, and 10.4 from BitGet, among others. So volume is surging. Trade activity is surging. Recently, we saw wallet activity, a historical high from Sentiment. So while people just act on impulse, we can look at data. We can just look at data and realize. So here we're looking at what? We're looking at worldwide Bitcoin searches. You see, people just live in effect to the emotion. They don't zoom out. And right here is May of 2021 where we had the peak, right? That is the maximum Bitcoin searches on Google. And right now we're at a, 82% delta, only 18%. So obviously this means we're going to have a lot of FUD all across alts. People will think that alts are done for, and they forget about social sentiment. They forget about the off-chain analytics like Web2 data, which is arguably super important. You can't argue that we're in alt season when these are the countries in the top searches. You know what I'm saying? Where's USA at? Let's go find USA again. 27th. Come on, guys. Let's look at the next one here, which is comparing Cardano, Ethereum, Solana, and Dogecoin the past 12 months for YouTube searches. Why is this important? Well, we can see that there are times where Cardano has more searches than Solana, more searches than Dogecoin short term. And when you look at an average, so this is the yearly average the past 12 months, Cardano is exceeding Dogecoin. What does this mean in something tangible, realistic? It means that there are people on the fence waiting for the price to rally to get in, which makes no sense to us, right? We buy low, we want to sell high, or hodl for a long term. We think of trajectory. But there are people who are just watching on the fence. Now, sure, yes, Ethereum, Solana, they have a lot of traction. But sometimes, again, like we've said, Cardano is almost doubling Dogecoin sometimes trading blows with Ethereum. So it's good to look at these social analytics because it tells of us a story that we can't really tell when we're just looking at stupid conversations on Twitter. Finally, let's take a look at price and where we're headed. I think that, again, $5, $7 is very easy, light work. I don't think there's any really objective reason why we can't surpass that, regardless of the outcome of U.S. election and whatnot. I think that $5, $7 is pretty much like written in. And most of that is because of the ecosystem that we have and leading with the compliance narrative, decentralization narrative. So I think that I'm thinking the cold months. I'm thinking like January, February will slowly start. It might have a similar rhyme and rhythm to what we saw in the previous cycle. How high can we go? I think that we can easily surpass $3, $4, $5 US. And I've showed you my reasons why not. You see, it's easy to be bearish. It's easy to be negative, right? It's harder to say, hey, I'm bullish because of XYZ. It's easy. You can have an insatiable appetite to the downside. That's the problem. If it goes down to $1, 50 cents, a broken clock is right twice a day. And if I sit here and tell you in the middle of June that it's going to snow, eventually it will. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the reasons, the ecosystem, the narrative will send us, and I think that we can see a $5 to $7, but I don't think that positive upside volatility will begin until the cold months into the new year. But let me know what you guys think. Is it reasonable to think $5 to $7? What do you think about the positive news with XRP? And is Brad Garlinghouse correct thinking that there will be a Cardano ETF? Mind you, this is an older clip in the summer of this year, but they continue to get positive news. It benefits us. They're fighting for DeFi, and we have an alliance that we've formed with them. So overall, guys, I think Cardano is in a very competitive advantage. I really don't care about the nonsense when the clowns say, oh, we've got out of the top 10. So what? We've been in the top 15 to 20 range for coming on 8 years. There are projects in the top 10 or 20 that literally are done. BitConnect, Luna, the list goes on. So at the end of the day, know what you hold. Ask yourself, why are you holding this project? I really like the narrative, decentralization, governance. I really love the liquid native staking without intermediaries. There's many benefits, and I think with Laos, all the scalability and everything planned, I think we're positioned quite competitively. So let me know your thoughts. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next Angry Crypto Show.